Okay, I'm Don Pyatt here with Lanny Parcell at the Morningstar Partners building with the Travel Air 5000. Coming in to do a little preparatory work for hanging the airplane from the ceiling tomorrow. And today is September 1st, Labor Day 2014. Lanny's in here working when he should be out catching fish.
Yeah.
So what's going on here, Lanny?
Well, we changed the design on how we're going to hang it from the ceiling. The original architect had set it up where we were going to pull it up with cables at an angle, and we discovered through our attempts to lifting it that the geometry wasn't our friend. It wasn't working, and the loads were going way up on the lifting eyes that were in the building and the lifting eyes that were on the airplane.
Okay.
So we stopped that process and re-engineered it so that the cables that are suspending the airplane, the ones that are really holding the load, are just vertical cables straight from the airplane straight to the ceiling of the building. And the Morningstar group put more structure in the ceiling of the building over the past month when we made our first attempt.
Okay.
And we changed the lifting eyes that were actually on the airplane so that they're more suited for a vertical pick. It's what the steel hanging guys call it, a pick.
Right.
Everything's engineered now for a vertical pick. And we've got the sizes for all of the lifting eyes are sized where each lifting eye can hold the whole weight of the airplane.
Oh, I see. That's a good plan.
Which was it's got more margin of safety than we did before.
Okay.
Just taking in the dynamics of lifting it up, and if it kind of bounces and drops a little bit, then everything's not going to stretch or creak or pop or anything. So.
Okay. And just a few minutes ago, I noticed you were underneath the tail of the airplane, putting some weight back there.
Right. Well, because the way we changed the philosophy on how we were going to lift it, when we do the vertical pick, we discovered that the CG is right on the front lifting eyes. And we found that when we hoisted it the first time, we got it an inch off the floor, and we had basically neutral weight across the whole airplane. Makes sense. All the weight's on the front two lifting eyes.
Sure.
The other cables weren't doing any work. The tail was just kind of flying.
Right. That explained the additional load on this one machine over here.
Yeah, that 2,000-pound hoist.
Right, the hoist.
Couldn't do 2,000 pounds of airplane all by itself.
Right.
So what we did is we put ballast in the tail. Our calculations came out that if we needed to move if we wanted to move the CG directly in between the four main lifting lugs on the fuselage, we were going to have 312 pounds in the tail to move the CG 37 inches. Well, that's pretty unrealistic. We didn't want to put that much weight in the tail.
Sure.
So we put 110 pounds in there, which should move it about 12 inches back. So it's going to get some of the load off the front, but it's actually going to give us some weight at the back end, so that it's a lot more stable when it's suspended. Yeah.
Sure. And I guess there are air currents in this room that might swing the plane around.
There's a little bit.
That wasn't taken into account.
I know that, well, we don't really know what it's going to do yet. That's going to be a wait and see kind of a thing.
Right.
But I did notice when I was here Saturday, they had this room all masked off because they were still repainting all the steel that they put in the ceiling, and the air conditioning ducts were blowing on all that plastic they had dropped down, and there's some air moving around.
I'll bet there is.
Yeah, it's not going to be. It's definitely going to be a factor.
Right.
It's going to be there.
Okay. Well, we'll be here tomorrow, and hope to catch all the action on video and close this thing out.
Yeah, I'm anxious to check this last box.
I'll bet. And you've done a wonderful job on this airplane, and we're all looking forward to seeing it hung up from the ceiling.
Yeah, me too. On display for the public.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Lanny.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.